Top 10 Manga of March 2021. At the 10th position is My Dad is Too Strong. Lee Do-jun was a desk worker for the government that was a part of the Rift management team. One day, he got into an accident and woke up in the world of Murum, where he learned to fight, and a single crucial skill was a skill that he had gained when he first appeared in, and it resurrected him a day before after his death. Through many years he rose to the top of the ranks, becoming the strongest, but just like that, he blinked and came back to the world he was originally from. Do-jun continued to go to work and live at his home, but the only thing that changed was gaining a daughter through his dad contract. At the 9th position is the Undefeatable Swordsman. This is the story of Song Woo-mun. The village owner's son, Song Woo-mun is weak as a young boy, whose condition only when he suffers a loss of his intellect, due to the Sansuwa, a painting gifted by a sage. But unbeknownst to everyone, his life is about to change, and a new destiny awaits him, when he turns 20. Not only does he undergo an awakening, but he also sees the undefeatable flower blooming in the painting. What could all of this mean for Woo-mun? And what strange world awaits him? At the 8th position is Murum Logan. An era where hunters thrive on hunting monsters that come from gates. Jin Tae-kyung is a low-rank hunter who picks up a VR machine, and accidentally logs into the game, which is set in the world of martial arts. After many ups and downs, Tae-kyung is able to escape this world. The strength and skills, which he received in the Murum, were able to be carried over back to the real world. This allows him to continue making a living a hunter, but he decides to return back to the world of Murum, out of care for his NPC friends. At the 7th position is the boxer. An unimaginable talent without rivalry. Will it prove itself to be a blessing or a curse? At the 6th position is the great mage returns after 4,000 years. The worst student of Westrad Academy, the disgrace of the Blake house. A new soul enters the lifeless body of Frey Blake, the boy who couldn't handle his painful life and chose death instead. What's with this body? I'll have to check every little detail of it. At the 5th position is I stack experience through writing books. The main character, Jong-seok Lee, used to be your average, run-of-the-mill person. The only thing remotely interesting about him is the fact that he's always at local bookstores. All of that changes when he suddenly encounters a completely blank book and foolishly accepts what's asked of him. At the 4th position is the beginning after the end. King Gray has unrivaled strength, wealth, and prestige in a world governed by martial ability. However, solitude lingers closely behind those with great power. Beneath the glamorous exterior of a powerful king lurks the shell of man, devoid of purpose and will. Reincarnated into a new world filled with magic and monsters, the king has a second chance to relive his life. Correcting the mistakes of his past will not be his only challenge, however. Underneath the peace and prosperity of the new world is an undercurrent threatening to destroy everything he has worked for, questioning his role and reason for being born again. At the 3rd position is Rooftop Swordmaster. After being beat up and put into a coma by 8 of his classmates at Nungwang Middle School, Se Young woke up after 9 long months and found out that his father committed suicide by self-immolation in an attempt to get justice for what happened to him. As a result, the investigation reopened, and that attackers who tried to sweep it under the rug received a proper sentence for their crimes. But Se Young was unable to assuage the anger and fear he felt for the unjust world. Se Young thoroughly hid himself from this sort of world. The sun would rise and set, the seasons changed, and not once did he step outside of his home. But one day, a sudden and strange sound enticed him to open the door. Embedded in the center of the rooftop was a gigantic blade emblazoned with the words War Sword, and with it, came the whispers of a god. At the 2nd position is Boss in School. Seth Kong is a born fighter. However, due to his promise with his mother, he decides to stop fighting, even in self-defense. Everything changes when his father dies and leaves him with a single, final message: stop getting your ass kicked. He is the most badass man in the world. At the 1st position is the Undefeatable Swordsman. When the world was plunged into darkness by the silent night, martial artists from all over the place gathered to form the Northern Heavenly Sect. With overwhelming strength from the Northern Heavenly Sect, the Silent Night was pushed away and the people began to enjoy peace once more. However, as time passed, the martial artists from the mainlands began to conspire against the Northern Heavenly Sect, and eventually caused the death of the 4th generation sect leader, Jin Quan Ho, destroying the sect with it. As everyone left the sect, Jin Quan Ho's only son, Jin Muwan, was left behind. Muwan has never learned anything about martial arts, but he eventually finds the martial techniques secretly left behind by his father and begins to acquire the martial arts of the Northern Heavenly Sect. Then one day, a mysterious girl appears before Muwan.